Boogie bringing this up, listen, I can understand if the guy's strapped for cash, he needs the help, and he's sad he didn't get the 50K, but I don't really think it's fair that that's put on my shoulders. I had no morals whatsoever from the start. Thanks for the money, dummies. Banned, 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 banned. The camera's been on the whole time. Bouncy, bouncy. I'm actually a virgin. See this fucking piece of garbage disc? Thanks for the money, stupid fuck. What is going on, everyone? Phil here, and there's something going on right now, a little bit of misinformation all over the internet. I'd like to clear the air about, I guess, some stuff that has been said by various parties regarding my possible involvement.
We're trying to put together a show, that LOLCOW podcast that Keemstar pitched. Phil's like, oh, no, I don't want to work with Keemstar. I don't want a $50,000 paycheck. I don't want to pay off all my debts and taxes. I'd rather be miserable. I'd rather sit in a corner and cry all over myself for a living, which also cost me a 50K payday, which also cost Wings a 50K payday. So he screwed everybody over. So I think he's trying to make it up with us trying to work with another third party that's not Keemstar, but I don't know. I don't feel like Phil wants his problem solved. I think Phil wants to marinate in the misery of his own creation.
You're a moron. You're nuts. Why is he publicly talking about it? I was never in the LOLCOW cast, you tremendous egotistical brain-dead idiot. It came up on my Oblivion stream tonight, and I'm like, this is weird because it's derailing my stream. And obviously, you guys know me, if you are a fan of mine, I like talking about nonsense that has nothing to do with said session. So what I decided tonight to do is, let me just make a video talking about what's really going on. So I'm making a special video derailing my other content talking about this. So here's the deal. This all started where I guess Boogie went on a podcast. It might have even been the Side Scrollers podcast. And in an interview was talking about the whole idea of me, him, and Wings being on a podcast that was going to have Keemstar's involvement. And I guess Boogie still has some resentment there where he's upset. I cost him and Wings $50,000. That is completely true. What apparently the idea was that Keemstar had is that he wanted to do what he called a LOLCOW podcast, me and Wings and Boogie, and he was apparently going to pay us $50,000 each as a signing bonus, and we were going to each own a certain percent of the show. Keemstar wanted to essentially make money off of us doing a show. Now, he was promising something to them he had no right to promise. Oh, I'm going to give you $50,000 if Darkside Phil will do the show too. I'm not doing the show. I had no intention of ever doing it with this man involved. That's Keemstar's fault for essentially having an idea and not even seeing if it's something that would be possible. He overpromised and he underdelivered. You don't do that, right? I don't like Keemstar. I don't like the content he puts out, nor do I like what he stands for as a person. I think that he's kind of a despicable person. I would never do business with this man. So quite frankly, I have no involvement in this whatsoever. I didn't even know what the offer really was because I never talked to Keem about it, nor did I desire to, period. I guess Boogie had mentioned on this interview that we had been having discussions behind the scenes about possibly starting our own podcast, Boogie, Wings, and Me, okay? Here's the truth of the matter from my perspective. I had been talking to Boogie about this, you know, last year, saying, I don't want to do anything with Keem, but if you want to do something with me, just you and me, we could have a conversation. We could do our own show. We could just interview each other just for the benefit of each other's channels, whatever you would want to do. I'll be honest with you guys, I was thinking of maybe interviewing Boogie for my new DSP Reacts channel at some point this year, but that didn't work out. As you know, my interview show is kind of on hiatus for various reasons. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I got contacted by a third party basically saying that this person was representing Boogie and Wings and was going to be the third party to put the whole thing together. No, it was not Keemstar. This will have zero Keemstar involvement whatsoever. I'm not arranging for any podcast. Someone reached out to me, okay? We haven't worked anything out. You know, I don't even know how we would make it happen yet. What we need to do is kind of sit down and put our heads together. That could happen and probably will happen after this fight that Wings and Boogie are, I guess, going to have sometime this month. I literally don't even know when it is. I have no clue because it has Keemstar's involvement. I don't care. I want nothing to do with it. So I'm not paying attention to it. But hey, let's make this happen. Let's talk. Let's have a meeting. I'm all for it. Okay? You know, one of the things discussed was that they figured I don't want to call it the LOLCOW cast. Yeah, I don't want to be involved in anything that makes fun of us, degrades us, or makes us feel like shit, and calling us LOLCOWs does that. If we're going to start our own show, it should be a fun show. It's different to have a little bit of self-teasing. It's another thing to make an entire show fully degrading and catering to trolls. I don't want to be involved in that. Keemstar absolutely did come up with that name. Hey, I have a problem with that. That was my name and that was my idea. He's right. I actually, from a business perspective, could see having an issue with someone using that name that someone else came up with. And that's that. That's literally it. There's been no major discussion about, you know, money or how the show will work or anything really like that. So really, there's been nothing to mention. Why hype up the possibility of a podcast with these guys if we haven't even sat down to see if it's viable yet? We haven't. So why talk about it publicly? Boogie apparently chose to talk about it publicly first. So now people are asking me all about it. So I wanted to tell you my perspective, what's going on. Again, as long as this is a show that's not going to be a fun show, that's maybe about three guys talking about games and pop culture and life in general and news, but instead degrading ourselves, catering to trolls, I'd be down for that, something like that. In fact, I would welcome something like that. Most of my content's just 100% toxic. Just being honest. All of a sudden, someone starts posting up in my chat tonight. Keemstar just tweeted, DSP is off the LOLCOW cast because he's not responding to emails. Have I not made it abundantly clear? I want no involvement whatsoever with Keemstar. Zero. I don't want to be told about him. I don't want to be in content with him. I don't want to have any business relationship. I want to be left out of his mouth, period. I have no desire to have any associations with this man or any of his businesses at all. Now, he's tried to come onto my streams and derail the ban. He's tried to tweet me, block. I'm done wasting my time talking about Keemstar. Would I be interested in doing a podcast with Boogie and Wings? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Guys, that's it from my perspective. I hope that clears the air. All right, guys, thank you so very much. Thanks for watching.
That's normal.